everybody. We have a little handful of folks on. Welcome. My name is Pam Raposa. I'm the artistic director of Theater 444, and this is Rachel. And Rachel is our costume extraordinaire designer, and we're here tonight to do our sixth episode of Theater Talk. This year, we wanted to really highlight our artists that are behind the scenes because there's so much that happens that people don't see. And we wanted them to understand that there's other things going on. And while we love our actors, we also can't do it without all these other pieces and all the elements. And, theater is a team sport. So speaking of sports, it's the World Cup. We have a lot of competition today. Hopefully, I hope the game is over at this point, but yay, Rachel's here. So Rachel, introduce yourself and tell us your story. Tell us how you got here.
So my name is Rachel Pugh. I am delighted to be costuming my fifth show with Theater 444 right now. I started out, my friend Wendy asked me if I would like to come and help usher Sweeney Todd. And then she needed a little bit of help backstage with moving things on and off stage every night at Cobblestone for Story of Life. And then, I don't know, I just kind of, I interviewed with Pam for Big Fish to be costuming that. And I happened to mention, hey, if you need anything for In Pieces, I would love to help. I love that show. So she said, sure, I bet we can find a stipend. And I just meant true, but awesome. That's incredible. So, and there it begins.
Yeah, but tell us some of your backstory too.
Okay. So I grew up doing theater from the time I was about 4 years old. I think I did my first show when I was 4, and I fell in love with the stage. It was my favorite thing ever. And then on up through middle school, I started helping our costumer there pull costumes and things like that. I didn't really sew much, but she would let me go and help her pick things out and run around and grab hats and whatever she needed. And then I kind of fell out of it by the time once college was over and I was raising a family. And then my oldest decided that he was going to join drama club. And so I kind of got sucked back in with, oh, can you help with this? Can you help with these costumes? Can you do this? And so I learned so much about sewing. And then I became a drama club advisor for the middle school drama club at Mark Whitman. And I've been costuming schools and community theater, and then now with 444.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you with us. Rachel is so smart. I can't even tell you. She's so on top of things. And she also doesn't trust herself because she's always like, I don't think I understand what we're doing here. But she always hits it. I mean, she nails it every time. But so I know you've been doing this for years. And we're always looking for help. And so I'm wondering, do you think that people need to know how to sew in order to do costumes?
Yes. Certainly there are things that you can do without knowing how to sew, but I could not do what I do if I didn't have these sewing abilities.
Yeah.
There are certainly better seamstresses out there than me, absolutely, but yeah, it's a component for sure.
Okay. So why don't you tell us your process? What is your process when we put a new show in front of you? How do you attack it?
So I start out, I read the script, I study the script. I try not to put too much into my head about how I think it should look, because obviously we're trying to present your vision, or we're trying to present what our actors are bringing in. And then I set up a basic scene plot where I put, okay, this person is in this scene, this person is in this scene, and especially if they're doing different things, if they're playing different roles, I kind of need to know. For example, yeah, perfect. Marley was our beautiful mermaid, but she also was Jenny Hill for us in Big Fish. So it was kind of a, okay, how do I what is she when and where and how do those changes work, and what do I need to make sure our actors are comfortable with? How much time do they have to change? Things like that are huge, huge components. So yep, once I'm looking at that scene plot and figuring out who are they when, it's a big part.
Yeah. And it's a huge part because like, let's talk about making actors comfortable.
It is.
That's not an easy task.
No, sometimes harder than others.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, when I do measurements with them, I want to make sure that they're comfortable. I ask them a bunch of questions and I say things like, are there any physical limitations, anything that you would feel uncomfortable on stage and that I should know about? And then if there is an issue, I know to come to you and say, hey, Pam, here's what we're working with. But I always want them to feel comfortable. And I have told them time and again, the last thing that I want you doing on stage is thinking, oh my God, what do I have to go put on next? No. If we have to cut something, if we have to adjust something, we do, because that's the least of their worries.
Right. I say the same thing to them often. We not wanting them to be uncomfortable on stage, that really comes across to the audience when they're uncomfortable.
Right.
It's not just like physically uncomfortable with their costume, but even just like with what I'm asking them to do. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable because I think the audience feels that, and it's a distraction from the story, right? And so I hear myself saying that often too, like, what are you comfortable with this, and yeah. But Rachel has a good way of organizing herself so that she knows what scenes are doing what and who's doing what when and how much time they have in one or another. Now we're doing a show right now, Dogfight, and the female ensemble of this show plays multiple people. In fact, one of our ensemble members, Jack, he's playing, I think, 6 or 7.
I think it's 7.
Right? 7 people, right? Crazy. And so that's a lot to like juggle. And so it's so good to have Rachel backstage supporting them through that, because that is a lot. So let's talk about, I know you and I talk a lot about story and character, and where do your design ideas come from?
So once again, I read through the script. I try to study it. If it is a period piece, like the one that we're working on currently with Dogfight, I do a ton of research. I went on to the Department of War website, which is part of our government website, to find out what exactly were the Marines wearing in Vietnam. And it changed even from 1963 to 1967, which is the span that our show covers, which is crazy. So trying to figure that out and do justice to that, especially because it is our military. And I don't, if we have someone in the audience who was in that time period serving, I don't want them to go, that isn't what it was like,
Yeah.
I think the only time that the audience notices my work tends to be if it's wrong, right? Because it just
100%. And that is true for all of our technicians. Really. I mean, all of us have said that at different times. If I'm doing my job well, you don't even notice it.
Yes, that is always my goal, is for someone to not come up to me afterwards and go, why did you do that? What was that? Like, they don't notice unless it's wrong, right?
Right.
Here's hoping. So with a period piece like this, tons of research. I will try to read the script, try to talk to you, go to our production meetings first, and then I might dive into watching, in this case, the Dogfight movie from 1991, I think. And then looking at the Broadway shows and some other iterations of, ooh, I like that, or ooh, I hate that. I tend to highlight and notate my script deeply, especially during our read-through process, just to know what you're thinking, what our actors are bringing to it. And then once I get to see some rehearsals with them, once they're starting to get comfortable with their characters, I try not to get too much in my head about what their characters should look like until I get to see what their version of their characters are, especially with our ensemble. Like you said, our ladies are playing a bunch of yes, our ladies.
There's some of the ladies. I sent this picture to Rachel. I was like, okay, that's Marcy, that's Rose, that's Peggy. Just because we have to like start to imagine who these ladies are, and all the aspects of their costume really matters in making the story come to life and be realistic. And you can see like even time period like that, the hair itself is got to be accurate, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And so this one's going to be challenging, dogfight, because there's so many. How much weight does the actor have in what their character looks like?
That's a really good question. How much leeway does their director give them? You are amazing at bringing out the character that you want from them, but letting them own it, because it's going to look so much more honest on stage, and they're going to be able to have audience connect with them if it's truly them, if it's coming from them, versus if I'm putting them in something outrageous, or if you're saying this is how it should be. So a lot of it comes from them, and it's wonderful. I heard recently an actor told me that she said that if this happened to her, she would bark at this man who was approaching her. That's perfect. That's wonderful. Okay, so you're a girl who would bark at a man approaching. What you know for your character, you know, it's just silly little things that they bring in helps me to know who is this person and how should they be dressed, so the audience can connect to them,
right?
Even speak, hopefully, you know.
And what we wear, even us in our daily, what we choose to put on our body is part of who we are, right?
Absolutely.
And so it tells the story of who we are, what we choose to go out in the world as, you know, and wear, really informs other people of who we are, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting to think about developing characters like that, because especially like with this show right now, I know it's I've told the girls like I don't know who these characters are. You have to figure this out, you know. Mm-hmm. That's your job. And so I said, but you got to tell us pretty darn quick, because we have costumes to put on them, right?
We have to find these clothes, and right. They have to be period specific.
Right. I remember during Amelie, like the last show we just finished, Damon had said something to you after he got his costume.
He sent me the sweetest message at like midnight that night. I knew he was going out of town for his birthday, and so I wanted to make sure that he had tried on his costume and felt comfortable and knew his changes prior to like our first dress. So I said, would you mind terribly? And no, of course. So he tried them on, and afterward he came back to me, and I was a little bit nervous because it was a little bit very European, very French, and I was like, well, we'll see how he reacts to this. This is a little different for him. And he sent me this message saying, you know, that costume was just lovely, which was never anything I expected to hear from Damon. He's like, you know, it put me into my character. It really helped me to feel like I'm in France and I am this person. And that's the biggest compliment. That's just amazing. So yes, bless Damon.
A lot of times actors completely change once they get their costume.
That's the magic. That's why we wait until dress rehearsal to put them on them, despite sometimes them nagging me about, what am I going to wear? What am I going to wear? Clothing. You're going to wear clothing, loves. Yes.
Yeah, there is some kind of magic when they finally get their costume on. Something happens. And a lot of times it's physical, like their posture might change, or their, you know, like just the dynamic of their physicality changes a little bit based on what they're wearing, because suddenly they feel more like the character. And so it's just a little bit more heightened than it was when I was wearing my street clothes. So
it's amazing.
It is amazing. It's really, really cool. I think Rachel has like the hardest job, but also like most fun to like watch the change over like immediately, right? The minute you put something on somebody, it's like
playing dress up with them is a lot of fun. They are like some fight me a little bit at first, and then we've had issues where they come back and go, okay, you know what you're doing. Like, thank you. Yeah, I
actually have put some thought into this. Yeah. Rachel does her research. She knows her stuff. She's got a reason for everything, and I think that like with our company in general, we really, really try to make sure everything's intentional, right? Mm-hmm. And so everything, lights, sound, everything, hair, makeup, everything has to be thought through and intentional. And I think that really shows up on stage during a show.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the difference in seeing a 444 show personally. It's huge.
Yeah. It feels intentional and it feels more fully realized, I think, when everybody's on the same page and we've all thought through everything as best we can and did our research. I mean, yeah, for sure. What is the hardest costume you've ever made?
That's a tough one. There have been things that I had to do, for example, for Big Fish with Avi, and trying to get him so that his costumes were workable, because this is already a boy who is about 6 foot tall, and then we're putting him up on drywall still on their highest setting, and trying to get
wait, say that again.
Avi being 6 foot tall, and then we put him on these drywall stilts at their highest setting, right? There he is. Yep. And trying to fit. And I mean, the boy had some giant feet, trying to fit those into his stilt pants, building the stilt pants, doing all of the changes. And it's not like he was only one character, because then he was Business Giant and he was, but yes, trying to build that and keep him safe in these costumes, because of course
those pants. Oh my gosh.
Safety was an issue. Those quick changes for the funeral when he was just kind of a tall guy, Yeah.
Look at that costume, Rachel. It's so good.
That one kind of killed me.
He looks so good in that costume. And that had to have been really tough. I mean, I think he was 8'5", maybe.
He was just under 8 foot. Was he 7'11", so that we could clear him under the pit band?
Oh, right. He was, so because we had to make sure he could fit underneath.
And then once he got comfortable, he could bend over, and it was like, why did we worry about this ever? But,
yeah. I know. And then he went through the door anyway, so he was just like, I can just bend down.
He was killing us by then, but
yeah. I anticipated you were going to say that. That's why.
Of course. They're always tricky. Obviously, recently, Elton John was a lot. Trying to turn him into Elton John was
Elton John for a minute.
Unbelievable. But yeah, there's always a costume in the show that makes me go, why? Why do I do this? And it works out, and I'm happy. And
yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of Elton John.
Yes, poor Jesse and his quick changes. And it's always a quick change into the craziest costume that we have. I anticipated being Jack for Dogfight. There we go. Elton John. The costume that let me know that I'm allergic to marabou, right there.
You're allergic to marabou?
Yes. I was on steroids for the last half of Emily.
Oh my goodness. I did not know that. That's crazy.
It's a fun time.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yes. Rachel built that suit from scratch.
That suit almost killed me.
Yeah. It was like we were struggling on that one because we just didn't know what to put him in. We were just
right. How do you evoke Elton John?
Yeah. Right. Oh my
God. A quick change.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So what are you most proud of, Rachel?
Oh gosh. Usually it's the moments that are crazy. Like when a shoe breaks backstage and I have to get my actor back on stage in like 30 seconds. I will never forget In Pieces, my very first show with you, costuming fully. I'm backstage doing these crazy changes, and Alana is freaking out because poor Nick broke his shoe. And I said, yep. And I don't think that she thought that I heard her because she's just going, no, you don't understand. Like the entire heel came off of the shoe. And I said, yes, I really the one is warm. I got it. I glued his shoe back on and he went back on. And it was phenomenal. It was like nothing happened to him, thank goodness, because again, the last thing you want is your actor going, is my shoe going to fall apart again? I don't ever want them to be thinking about their costumes. So I'm super proud when we have a crisis backstage and no one ever knows. Like when you don't know about it until after the show is well over, until our audience never knows. That's my proudest moment. Like I love the backstage crazy. That gets your adrenaline going. Like, why we do this?
I have no idea. Backstage is crazy, you guys. I mean, you don't know what is going on back there half the time. We love emergencies. Live theater is live, man. We never know what's going to happen.
Seriously, it's never the same show twice for so many reasons.
Oh my goodness. Oftentimes we're calling Rachel just to fix change batteries on mics and oh my gosh, so many things. So many things. I remember during nuns, when we were doing Nonsense, with the guys that were playing the nuns, and Damon was in that show, and of course they had nun heels on. They had like old lady heels on that they were wearing, and they had a tap number coming up, and they all had to change their shoes. And he came off stage, and he had literally broken the heel off of his shoe. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And I said, just go out barefoot. And he put these slippers on that we had backstage. And he put these two little animal slippers on, and he walked out. And the audience just had a hoot time watching him. He thought that was how that was supposed to go. And then we let him do his tap number, and during intermission we just changed the laces on his taps and made those his shoes. We took the taps off of his shoes because he had no other shoes. We had no other shoes. But it was just the most funny thing. I'm walking in with these two little slippers on that had like little teddy bears on the front of them. And I'm like, oh.
And the audience thought it was a brilliant costuming decision. It's
correct. So yeah, I get you there. It is fun when something goes wildly wrong and we have to fix it in a split second.
That's my favorite.
It does. It's like the sport of theater.
It is. Ultimate theater, right?
Yeah. Ultimate theater. Oh, let's talk about ultimate theater. Rachel's when she first came to us said, I don't believe this. You guys do some crazy stuff. And I said, yes, welcome to Ultimate Theater. Because we don't have a home, we drive around with all this stuff in our cars half the time. And Rachel's got a car full of clothes all the time.
Always. Always, my poor children. I'm like, just push it over. Yeah. I get made fun of so badly by my friends. It's like, this is the life, friends. This is what we do.
Yeah, it's just what we do for the love of the art form, right?
Seriously.
What else, Rachel? Anything else you can think of that we can tell folks about what you do?
I don't know. I don't think that anybody understands exactly the carloads of things, the people that it takes, the collaborations, like with Big Fish. We had John George in there, and we had to go out to breakfast and talk about these capes for the witches. Like the craziest things that we cross over and work with. I remember talking to Brooke about what is the lighting going to look like for this? Are they going to be visible? Is this going to be that? There is so much, and we don't have our own space, unfortunately. So we don't just have a prop room like I was blessed with when I was teaching and doing my middle school drama club. Like, okay, let me just go into the room. No, there is none. We are alternate theater. We load in and then we tuck in the next day and on the show, and then it's a few dress rehearsals, and then we have butt scenes.
It's unreal.
Hardest thing I've ever done, and I love it so much because I go, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I'm going home, and then I see the finished product to the degree that I get to see the finished product through the curtain, and it's just unbelievable. And it's just, we make art, like we make moving, breathing, living art, and it's incredible.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask you, is why do you do it?
Why? Because I'm insane. Because it is.
Yeah.
It's for the art. Like,
yeah.
It's the art.
Yeah.
It's unreal. And the reactions that we get from people, the letters that we get from people saying, you know, I've wanted to see this show forever and it got canceled on Broadway and I've been dying to see it, or Evan Hansen was so much better than the regional tour, or the kinds of compliments that we get, and it just makes you want to do it again and again.
Yeah, yeah. It's addicting, isn't it? we love our crew.
Yes.
And like Rachel said, we really do work together, and all these technicians have to meet and talk, and they do affect each other. One thing informs the next thing, you know? And so, hi, Mr. Glue. I don't know you, but hi there. One thing affects another thing. And so, like, if Rachel's putting somebody in pink and we have red lights on, it does not look good. So we have to make sure that we are all communicating and talking the same talk. And it's just a ton of work, but it's also a ton of fun, and it's very collaborative. Yeah. So we have a show coming up at the end of August called Dogfight. If you're not familiar with Dogfight, holy cow, it's good. Music is beautiful. This is Pasek and Paul musical, who wrote Dear Evan Hansen. This was the show they wrote first before they even got famous. And so the music's pretty dynamite. The story is set in the 60s, right during the Vietnam War. And some young Marines are about to ship off to Vietnam the next morning. And they make the decision that they are going to have a dogfight. And apparently this was a common practice back then, where they each put money in the pot. And whoever brings the ugliest state to the party wins the money. Sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of humanity in this show, a lot of emotion. It is kind of very funny. There's a lot of funny parts to it. And there's a lot of sad things that come out of it too. But we're excited to do this show because not many people do it. It's not a show that's done very often. And I think that's because of the content and the difficulty level. Like on the difficulty level, it's pretty up there. And so I think that we tend to like to pick things that people don't do very often, because we want to expose our community to as many things as possible, and many opportunities to be able to see themselves in the human experience. So we can't do that if we're going to do the same musical over and over again, right? And so we all love the sound of music, but how many times can we watch it, right? Of course they're sad. I can't see a Pam show where I don't cry. Oh,
yes.
Oh, and well,
we're all sobbing backstage too. Trust me, I've been backstage crying with Wendy.
I know, but honestly, we have a great cast, and I feel like I'm always on repeat. I say the same things over and over again, but we have a great cast, and the guys that are playing our Marines are just fabulous. Here's a quick little video of them at vocal rehearsal. I'll share this one with you guys.
Some kind of time, take what we know. In the wham bam, thank you, man, your boys are grown. Some kind of time, cut all our streams, we are kings for an evening. What do you say to some kind of time? No one will mind her, gotta go find her, leave behind her, gonna be having some kind of time.
They're so good. And that was just like their very first vocal, vocal rehearsal. Oh, Wendy, thanks. We try really hard.
Here's the thing that I hear constantly about 444 is that somehow it's a magnet for talent. And yeah, the show, once again, magnet for talent. We have people in the show that have never done shows with us before, which is wonderful to be growing the family. I hear constantly, oh, community theater, they only cast the same people, blah, blah, blah. And nope, look at our cast. Holy cow.
I know. Holy cow. I want to show you another one. These two ladies are brand new to us. And they came, one is coming from, I think, Romulus area, and the other is coming from the other side of Syracuse, Fulton. And so, I mean, that's a hike. But both of these characters meet in the bathroom at this dogfight, and the one tells the other what's actually happening, and that they need to spread the word and tell others, tell the other girls, right? Oh my gosh, I got to share this one with you. So good. This is Danny and Julia in the bathroom at the dogfight. Isn't that great? I'm so excited for folks to meet our new folks. We get so lucky every time we have such amazingly talented actors. I mean, our company is getting larger and our family's getting bigger, and they're just phenomenal. All of them, every single last one of them. I put a link to tickets in the chat. If you want to see Dogfight, come and see it. You're not going to get a chance to see it. It's not something that it happens very often. So really grab a ticket, come and see Dogfight at the end of August, 21st through the 29th. And this is actually the last show in our season. This year is our 10th season. Holy moly. And this is the last one of the year for us. And then we get to take a little break. We've been going straight since October, I think. So we get to take a little break after this. So we're excited about that. But yeah. What else, Rachel? Anything else?
I don't know.
All right. Well, we hope that you're enjoying this series of theater talk about all of our amazing artists, not just our actors, but all of our technicians that work behind the scenes, and they do the hard stuff that nobody knows they're even doing. And we can't do the work we do without them. So we love them so dearly. And I hope you're enjoying this series. We haven't planned the next one yet because we are in the middle of production, and next month is going to be bonkers. So we're going to kind of skip August, but we'll come back in September. We've got a few more months of the year that we want to share, and a few more people that we want to share with you. So thanks for popping in with me, Rachel.
Of course.
All right. And we hope we see everybody at Dogfight at the end of August. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you.